should anticipate something a bit strange from that though. But interestingly for PoYo, he hasn't actually scanned recently, so doesn't know about the Twilight Council and doesn't know either about that robot. Oh no, he does know about the robotics facility. It's just the Twilight Council he hasn't seen.
Mm-hmm. So he can be caught unawares of this, and Stim is nearing completion. There is only so much time for WonnA to snipe that.
And he's going now.
Be going for the tech
He's on his way.
though?
He's going. He's focusing it down. He's going to get it. That is such a massive win for WonnA.
That is an absolute win for him, because this is going to delay any Terran push by additional 3 minutes almost.
Yeah, that was game-defining. That was such a good play by WonnA right there. Blinked straight up. He knew what he had to take out and got out without taking hardly any losses. He actually has lost less than his Terran counterpart this game.
Yeah, and as soon as he can, as long as he can keep delaying the Stim. Look at this, blinking up yet again. This time he probably won't be able to do it, but he will get plenty of SCV kills. Nice job. There are already 10 SCVs killed for WonnA, and PoYo doing the smart thing, building 2 tech labs instead of just 1. He needs more Marauders, at least for the time being, and yeah, smartly keeping the units around that tech lab, preventing it from going down.
Indeed. So we've got another wave of these Blink Stalkers getting ready. They don't want to blink up at the moment though, because there is so much infantry there for the time being that you just got to be really careful. If you go up there, you could take a lot of damage. So I think it's a wise play at the moment. We're coming in towards the natural. We see that a lot of units are getting taken down here already, and well, this is just good play by WonnA. He is really pushing PoYo back.
Yeah, expanding that blink a little bit needlessly right now, but he is on 5 or 6 gates right now, and going to blink up yet again. Maybe cancel the Stim for the second time. Question is, which tech lab is it researching?
It's like Russian roulette. It's just like one of them is going to ruin your opponent's day if you can't get it. But now the multi-point attackman coming in and blinking forward, trying to save the observer. Doesn't manage to do so. Meanwhile, where are the stalkers at the back? Why are they not blinking in? They need to go. There they are. They're blinking straight in. Are they going to go for the tech labs though? The answer, no, they are not. They're just going to get a little bit trapped up, unfortunately, and try and kill a couple of SCVs, not wanting to try and delay it anymore. Gets medevac though. That was a lovely little snipe, and so many SCVs. Meanwhile, stalkers still pushing in to the natural, and I don't think PoYo was expecting to have this much competition.
No, I don't think he was, and you know, but right now on WonnA, this is not what you want to do. You need to be pulling back. Stim is finished. All those stalkers dying. He just pretty much sacrificed them for no apparent reason. And you know what's funny? He does not know about the third base. Imagine if he killed that third command center, because it is a long ways off from the natural. He could have definitely done that. As it is right now, as he's securing his third base and trying to take up, he's just wasting army, and he has to be careful not to waste too many of his units, because he right now he is vulnerable to a counterattack a great deal.
There was a blink up into the main just yet, and WonnA lost a lot of stalkers again. So in supply it's actually quite even now. So I think WonnA did have a big lead, but he threw it away a bit by taking the direct engagement with these Marauders.
Exactly.
Exactly, indeed. So we are... Stream apparently dropped down for a second there, so if you could take a check of that, please.
It looks okay here. I'm still not having any frame drops.
Oh no, apparently it's back now.
It.
Apparently it was just some randomness, but anyway, back to the game. We do see at the moment that the pylon's getting cleaned up. The third base, though, for WonnA secured. The third base also up for PoYo. Upgrade-wise, this is where the next big difference comes. 1-1 is down for PoYo. Meanwhile, 0-2 is done for WonnA. So that means that upgrade-wise, they're fairly equal, to be honest. And that just means that any engagement is going to come all down to army composition and engagement angles.
Yeah, and Storm is not done, though, so he'll have to morph those Templar into Archons, because look at the size of the army that PoYo has mustered to hit WonnA. And I mean, I would even say that WonnA is at the upgrade advantage as long as he can get enough Zealots to do damage. Beautiful positioning here of the factory, denying the surface area that the Zealots need, and WonnA knows this. He does not want to engage that army, but is he just going to... Yeah, He just sacrificed his Nexus. I mean, there wasn't
He knew
really
he
any
couldn't hold-
choice.
He couldn't. He had no other option. He couldn't save it. Therefore, you have to sacrifice and pull back because otherwise you're going to lose units unnecessarily. And meanwhile, PoYo has managed to catch back up in the worker count, and with mules as well, that puts him ahead. But we do see now Wonna trying to cut off PoYo on his retreat, but is going to be able to get a couple of units. Need to
Storm
be
is
very
completed.
careful though. Yep, that is
Yeah, it
true.
is.
Storm is on its way, and well, this is going to be fairly close now for the rest of this game.
It is, and let me just check. I'm trying to find a Ghost Academy somewhere. We don't have any Ghost Academies yet.
We've got engagement in the middle, by the way, and as we can see, Storm's trying to hit, but PoYo microing back perfectly, using some good stims. His medevac count is getting absolutely huge, and as such, we see more damage, but some good Storms hitting there. Quite a few infantry units are going to go down, but PoYo does still have the supply lead. He is still pushing forward. He is still outproducing his opponent, and as such, Wonna is
the
forced to retreat. The High
HTs.
Templars morphing them into Archons was the only thing he could do, but they're both likely to fall now with the reinforcements coming in, and that is very unfortunate for Wonna.
Yeah, that was not a. I mean, those
Look at the
storms.
third, guys. Zealot Warp in taking a lot of
Oh,
cities there.
nice. Nice move there, but I don't think it really matters. I mean, PoYo has a good advantage, good position actually between the third and the second of Wonna, and I think he can take out the third for the second time. And Wonna, he's only lucky that it's not completed yet because he will have to cancel most probably.
Yeah, this
Oh!
is very unfortunate. Did he not get the cancel there?
No!
I don't think he did. Oh, that is a big loss for Wonna. That is very unfortunate, and therefore
PoYo's losing a lot of medevacs in the retreat, though. Only has 2 left.
that doesn't, in my opinion, that's not as big a loss as losing that third, because PoYo's had his third up and secured for a long time. He is only down to 41 workers, and well, the rest of the infantry are going to get cleaned up here, actually. Wonna doing a really nice job, and we'll get that final medevac.
Look at how
And,
low health all these Marauders are, and without medevacs.
Yeah,
they just
they're
get chased
almost
down.
dead, but I think PoYo is waiting not only for reinforcements, but for his +2/+2 to finish. Here are 3 more medevacs. He is still fighting this Gateway army without Ghosts, so he's not as cost efficient as he would like to be. And look at the positioning for Wonna. He's got pylons on both sides of the map. He's trying to set up a nice position for him. And actually, with these Zods, he should be engaging like a Zerg from all angles possible, which is not what he's doing. Here we go again. And PoYo kiting back quite nicely, not allowing Wonna any storms, but there's a nice
that
storm
was
catching
brilliant.
a lot of those Marauders.
That storm was absolutely amazing there. We saw so much damage done, but PoYo, he is still ahead in supply quite substantially, and he's still got his third base up, but he's only just starting to catch back up in the work count after that Zealot run by into the third. So Wonna, he's desperately trying to stay in this, but he's not trying to resecure his third behind this, which means his money is slowly going to be running out.
And finally, we have a Ghost.
Oh, the
Attack
Archon!
build.
Oh,
It lives.
just survives. It does. That is one hero Archon. It survived with like literally 5 health. 10 health,
And
rather.
Andy the Archon.
Andy the Archon. Is that what you want to name him?
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
Storms from the high ground.
That
Andy
was-
died. Just
Andy
saying.
died, guys. Meanwhile, more storms are trying to hit. We've got a pullback from PoYo at the moment. And well, that was a brilliant storm. There's so much damage done by that. Wonna, he is desperately trying to take out PoYo right
More
now.
Zealots are
Meanwhile,
in the
more
third,
Zealots,
cleaning up
yeah.
SCVs.
Those Zealots are doing a really nice job, but there's still no third for Wonna behind this. He is just pushing forward. He's trying to end the game here, and now the High Templar are trying to chase this down. So much of that infantry army is getting very low on health. The
All
third
the
base
medevacs
is
are
now
out of energy
besieged.
as well.
This is a big problem for PoYo. Wonna, he is doing so much damage, and Wonna with another great storm, dealing so much, but does he have enough to take down this third base?
I think he may have enough. He's got enough Templars to have almost permanent storms if he does not storm all that much often. And you know, those barracks, the position they're in, they're creating a nice choke for Wonna to exploit. He just has to be careful to really be cost efficient with his army because he does not have a third. That being said, if he manages to kill PoYo's army, then he may very well win the game as long as he's got storms remaining.
The orbital's going down, and the third is also going for PoYo now.
Yeah, this is leveling things out. Wonna just definitely wants to stay in this game. And now both players are in a bit of a problem, but that is that their main bases are pretty much mined out, and so they're both really down to one mining base, and that means that being cost effective is likely the most important aspect of this game now.
The natural is mined out practically for Wonna, only 1 patch left. So he has the long distance mine from his third now.
Oh my
hey,
god, look.
engagement.
Look at those Archons, so many Archons, no EMPs anywhere. This is not looking good for PoYo, and the storms keep falling down on the infantry. Look at that, DruidzWonna showing us some very nice play. Can he actually break through this?
Well, Supply says that he's ahead, but those Marauders, the Medevacs are doing as much as they can. The Medevacs nearly out of energy completely. The WonNa model at the back is still chipping away, doing so much damage, and still pushing forward. This game is too close to call. But PoYo, he does have slightly more gas in the bank, and that just means that he can keep producing those Marauders and start getting those Ghosts out should he need them.
And the mains are...
The worker count is 22 SCVs for PoYo against 56 probes for WonNa. But since both are either long distance mining or mining the last patches remaining, that's actually means that PoYo has a similar army to compared to WonNa, and the worker advantage is not really an advantage in this case. Actually,
Yeah,
the army
I
supply
mean,
for PoYo is 49 against 29 for DruidzWonna.
But
PoYo's
you know,
pushing
if he can keep PoYo on his one base and wait for him to mine out, this might sound strange, but if he waits for him to mine out, he will have the advantage because he can long distance mine. He has enough probes to secure
Look at that
one base
storm!
economy. That was
That's
beautiful,
amazing.
storm. But PoYo only has 22 SCVs, and those will not be allowed to distance mine. And even if there's just too few of them, and look at this, he's constantly baiting PoYo to go in, eat up some storms, and go back.
This is just so close. Another Archon morphing in. That does take the entire Archon count up to 3. We've got 2 more High Templar coming down as well for more storms, but they do need a bit more energy. This is going to be very, very close. The Medevacs, 2 more with a decent amount of energy just popping back out. But of course, WonNa does have the Observer up. They're getting good information. That storm does leave a little to be desired, but all WonNa's trying to do is buy himself some time. He's long distance mining. He knows that the third isn't back up, and as such, this game is just so close. There's only 3 supply between them.
Yeah, it is. And if he could manage to kill those barracks, that would help him a ton, because 10 Marines at a time are being
Oh no, the High
produced.
Templar! The High Templar needs to get rescued. Oh, that's okay.
And will we see another storm here?
Well, it's
WonNa
big.
is looking for it.
This is the last storm that WonNa has, and I think PoYo's standing army is just a bit stronger than what WonNa has, especially with the Medevacs.
Yeah, the Medevacs are very low on energy though. There's the blink, and it looks like WonNa is going to make his last stand. The Immortal is getting focused down at the moment. I think with this, PoYo is going to be able to do it. He knocks out all of the standing army, and that leaves just 9 army supply left for WonNa. And I think now down to just 3, he is not going to be able to come back from this. The problem though for PoYo is that he has very little income. He doesn't have his third base back yet. He needs to float his main down there, and that is precisely what he is doing now.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that much less income. It's currently 340 minerals per minute against 580. So
don't
while
worry.
WonNa does have a bit more income, the army currently for PoYo is so much better that if he pushes now...
Wait a minute. We have a Hellion being produced out of that one factory. Look at this.
Well, you might as well, because you've got a ton of probes sitting there. If you've got a whole ton of probes with no defense, make yourself a Hellion, and then just chuckle all the way as you get some roasted probes. And PoYo, he's just pushing him from the other side as well, so that means if WonNa goes to try and take it out, he's going to be able to isolate WonNa's army from his main and natural base.
The Hellion didn't actually get any kills. It did soften up some probes, but the Stalker was warped in and chased it away.
That poor Hellion, he had one job and he didn't do it. That storm...
What the hell was that storm?
Was obviously
We'll
a
call
misclick.
him Herman the Hellion.
Herman the Hellion. Herman the Hellion has run off now, and he didn't die. He's coming back. He's going to go and join his friends in the center of the map. Herman the Hellion is just going to... He's got a nice little scrolling pattern now. He's just going to go and look around everywhere to make sure there's no hidden bases. Good guy, Herman.
Good guy. And at this point,
nice snipe on the
really
Medevacs
think
by the single Stalker.
I really think that at this point PoYo has this game because, you know, he will be on at least one base economy with that third base being established, and his macro will kick in again.
It's
And
also 60
we can see
against
that
23 army supply for PoYo.
Exactly. So the economy does not matter all that much right now. He could very well do this with just 20 SCVs, as well he is doing it with 20-something SCVs. But the army size is just way bigger, and WonNa just does not have enough. He only has two High Templars and only 2 Storms available. So once
what PoYo
those
is
are
doing is genius. He's just waiting, and that's
The
really
ghosts are
important.
coming
as
out. They're joining
One
the
big
army now.
EMP, that could be huge. The probes, are they going to get pulled with
Third
this?
one
Oh, the
missed.
EMP.
And the feedback
Oh,
from the
look
other
at the
goes.
feedback.
I did get an EMP off, so the zealots are out of shields, but I'm not sure if that's really enough.
He did get the High Templars though.
The other problem, of course, is
Yeah,
the
but
PoYo has floated his natural down. But here we go. It looks like one is going to make his last stand. He is using Mineral Walk to get a complete surround with his probes, doing as much damage as he possibly can muster. But with the Medevacs healing, it looks like PoYo going to take this game now in what was absolutely incredible. GG, well played.